Good morning and welcome to another Gribbly's Folly Sunday Antisocial Hour. That time each week when I smoke my pipe and complain about humanity while also answering its questions. And if you are a piece of humanity out there with a burning, itching, swollen question for me, leave it down below in the comments with the hashtag AskGribbs, and I will answer any question, big, small, obscure, personal, any question that you can think of will be answered here on the Gribbly's Folly Sunday Antisocial Hour. 2 weeks ago, I posted a Sunday anti-nocial because I was too sick to do the video. If only I felt then as great as I feel right now. I lied. I'm not smoking a pipe because I have the flu. So later in the day, when I posted the anti-nocial, right? That was Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, our kid took a nap. Now he had had a cold, which I thought, was what I had. What I had at that point hit me like a truck. Like 1 minute I'm sitting there playing Minecraft. The next minute, well, I was still sitting there playing Minecraft, but I felt like dying. I felt terrible, and it was, boom, instantaneous. And I thought at the time, the only thing that really hits like that is the flu. But this was May. It was May 12th. May 12th. Nobody gets the flu in May. That afternoon, kiddo goes down for a nap, wakes up, his temperature is 102.5. So we go to urgent care, and they're like, yeah, it's the flu. We're still seeing a whole lot of flu. So I knew what was going to happen. I knew that, kiddo was going to get through it. My wife was going to get it. It was going to suck. It was going to suck. 2 weeks later, but the shining light here through all this was that I had already had it, right? I was done. So I thought. 2 weeks later, 2/3 of my family is on antibiotics. My wife got diagnosed with pneumonia. Kiddo's got some kind of horrible sinus infection left over. And I'm just like, hey, I'm already done. I did my time, because that sucked. That 2 weeks ago, that really sucked. And then 2 nights ago, I'm like sitting at my computer and boom, hit by a truck. I don't know who makes the rules about this stuff. If there's like a virusologist out there who can tell me I had the flu last time and this is just a really bad cold, or that was a really bad cold and this is the flu, or they're both the flu. I just got it twice. Like, why would I get it twice? I don't understand. I just don't, this has been the worst part of parenthood, other than that whole like death-defying NICU visit for 4 months of our lives. This has been the getting sick every 2 weeks thing. I don't like to complain about parenthood because there's plenty of people out there that want to be parents and can't or whatever. I'm a very blessed person, but this sucks. And it just destroys any motivation to do anything. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to make some videos. I'm going to go out and go on a solo overnighter for my YouTube community. And then I get sick and I'm like, fuck that. I'm staying home playing Minecraft. Come on. Seriously. Like, oh, I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to lose some weight. No, I'm sick and I better eat some carbs or I'm going to die. Which reminds me, I completely forgot about this. It's actually kind of a big deal. I went 5 weeks from April 22nd until May 29th without eating sugar. No sugar. Well, that's not true. Without eating sweets. If there's like sugar in something, like I ate an apple, that's not a big deal. Or it wasn't under my way of thinking. Some people get really, really serious about that. When they say no sugar, they mean no fruit. I just meant no sweets, no Frosted Flakes, no brown sugar Pop-Tarts, no Skittles, no Snickers, no chocolate of any kind, none of it. And I learned a lot. And mostly what I learned is that sweets aren't really that good. Like now that I'm back into sweet land, I've had a cupcake. I've had some Welch's fruit snacks because my kid eats them, and man, they are pretty good actually. They're kind of hard to stop once you start. But I had a cupcake, didn't make me want more. I haven't had any I normally don't drink sugary sodas or anything like that. So I don't know. For a while there, I was like, I did it after Easter when there's candy everywhere, And so after that, I was like, no more. I got to take a break from sweets. And And I did it, and I'm proud of myself. And, you know, I don't know if it did any good or anything, but it was good to learn exactly where my boundaries are with sugar. I'm pretty sure the cupcake was my undoing, and that's why I got sick again. Anyway, well, enough about me. Let's talk about my responses to your questions. Amy Mack gets to the front of the line, number one, because she's female. Number two, because she's back. She is back in the YTPC under the moniker of That Pipe Woman. Go check it out. I'm going to put a link down below. That Pipe Woman. She's already got a few videos up. Definitely don't miss it. Amy Mack asks Gribbs. So I read on the Facebook Cobb group that there's a thing they do where they get a new cob and smoke it as much as they can in an attempt to ruin it / color it. I've decided that's my return to YouTube. My question is, will you join me in this pursuit? Yes! Yes, I'm down. I will try to ruin / color a cob. I want to buy a new one, a brand new cob to ruin. However, I did want to note this cob was pretty much brand new until I dropped it in the river this week. And this is kind of an interesting thing that happens. I guess like all the tars from the bowl seep out when it gets wet. This has happened before on other cobs I've dropped in the river. So I'm probably going to chuck this one, buy a new one. I'm looking at like the Diplomat apple shape. I've never had one of those before, so I'm interested in doing that. Next item of business. Old Greg is now making pipe videos, y'all. My Minecraft partner in crime is now making actual live action pipe videos, no Minecraft involved. Go check it out. Another link in the description below. I will definitely remember to put these links down there. I've never forgotten before, and I won't start today. Fireplug1701D, responding to the Bugger Skunked videos, says, what happens when you know Gribb's first rule of snakes, but still annoy them? Now, for those of you that don't know, Gribbly's first rule of snakes, don't fuck with snakes. Yeah. Okay, so what happens when you know the rule, but you still annoy the snake? You get what you deserve. Northern Bohemian has had quite an interesting comment on my UFO video, asking if I'd been visited by any ladies that looked like Walter Mondale. And you know, when you have the flu every 2 weeks, your brain gets a little fried. And I forgot we had a conversation about Gillian Anderson and how she does not look like Walter Mondale, even though Norbo thinks she does. I thought he was talking about a random lady that happened to look like Walter Mondale. This is what you get. This is what you get when you watch my vids. Just unadulterated, feverish stuff about UFOs, I guess. I don't know. Norbo says he's concerned that I am going to turn into Art Bell. And I think that's a valid concern, although I will say that, I mean, of all the radio personalities I could possibly turn into, Art Bell would be at the top of my list. All right, so Norbo asks Gribbs, you wore the same shirt and nearly the same hat last October, which leads me to ask, Gribbs, do you own more than one shirt and two very similar hats, or did you time shift yourself from October to May, or reverse time shift back from May to October? If it was time shifting, how do you account for the Earth's rotation and orbital changes? It seems to me that simply shifting time without accounting for the changed location would result in your freezing in the vacuum of space. Maybe this ability stems from your powers as a level 50 shaman. Well, maybe it does. Norbo, I think we should have a serious talk about this. Are there any astrophysicists in the house that can tell us? Because this has always been my thing too, like ever since third grade, where they're like, yeah, we're on a ball, it goes around the sun, and then the sun is part of a galaxy, and then the whole galaxy is spinning around, and then the galaxy is orbiting the center of the universe, and it's getting farther and farther away from the center of the universe as the universe expands. And I was like, well, wait a minute, if you travel through time, where the hell do you end up? Like, especially if you go back 1,000 years, like if you go back an hour, you're probably still on the Earth, I guess? I don't know. I don't really know. And how does anyone know? We're moving through space relative to what? To the center of the universe? How do we know the center of the universe is still? Maybe it's moving around something else. So, yes, Norbo, you raise a very good point. Fortunately, your first assumption is correct, and I really don't own a lot of clothes or hats. They're all the same. Actually, okay, so I have this hat. I have my Styles Automotive hat. Then I have 3 Outback hats because I bought one and then people gave me 2 others. And I have a wardrobe of cheap shirts from Kmart that I wear in my smoking videos because I don't want to smoke up a nice shirt. And I wear them fishing because I don't want to fish up a nice shirt. I do actually own nicer clothes. I won't call them stylish clothes because I have no idea about that stuff. But they are nicer than what you normally see me wear. Road Glide Sully asks Gribbs, what do you think about the ASMR movement sweeping across YouTube? Well, I am part of the movement. I'm going to leave another link down below to the ASMR video I made in response to Pipe Smoking Board Gamer, I believe it was, tying a woolly bugger. Derek Tant, who served in the Air Force, I believe, I think I'm correct on that, that was his branch of the military. He says, Area 51 is where they test experimental aircraft and evaluate foreign aircraft. No alien spacecraft, unfortunately. How do you know that, Derek? Can you tell us if you've actually been to Area 51? I think you're just poo-pooing our fun here. All right. Ask Gribbs, what is your favorite song that is sung by Ronnie James Dio? Also, what are your true feelings about UFOs? Also, what is your favorite cuss word? I'm going to need a minute with Google to see if I can answer all 3 of those with one word. Rainbow in the dark. Isn't really a cuss word. I mean, I can't even think of how you could stretch that into a Okay, I'm not that big a fan of Dio. In fact, I would say I'm not a fan of Dio. Not that I don't like Dio, I just don't really have many feelings one way or the other because he headlined Sabbath, right? And so Sabbath I have a, well, I guess it begs the question, can I include Sabbath songs that Dio probably sung on stage when he was headlining Sabbath? Like, could I include Paranoid? Because he probably sang it? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm going to go with Rainbow in the Dark. What are my true feelings about UFOs? Let's get to my favorite cuss word first. That would be fuck. What are my true feelings about UFOs? Here we go. I wouldn't say that I have a theory about UFOs. I don't subscribe to any particular explanation for whatever it is that people see or don't see or make up. And as usual, my standard theory for crazy stuff is statistical noise, right? Like, when you've got 7 billion people on the planet, weird things are going to happen, and that's usually my anything that happens, I'm just like, yeah, 7 billion of us, that's weird stuff. Weird stuff is going to come out. However, I did read an amazing book that was made into a terrible movie. The book is called The Mothman Prophecies. The movie starred Richard Gere. The Mothman Prophecies was written by John Keel, who drew heavily on the work of Charles Fort, who was a researcher into anomalous phenomenon in like the late 1800s, early 1900s. And so John Keel sort of drew on this Fortean work. Fortean is a term that I learned this from the book, is a term that is used to discuss werewolves, vampires, fairies, ghosts, whatever, creatures from outer space. Excuse me, more coffee. Keel's theory, expounding on Fort's theories, is that this is all the same thing, and that it appears to all of us, meaning all cultures throughout history, and it appears to us in different ways. And his evidence for this is that if you look at the patterns evident in UFO lore, lights in the sky, abductions, cattle mutilations, lost time, all that kind of stuff, those things show up in stories of fairies, in stories of vampires, in stories of whatever. That there are these similarities across time and culture to the phenomenon, to all Fortean phenomenon. And so his theory is that this is all the same thing, and it's some sort of I don't know exactly. He never really comes out and says what he thinks it is, but some sort of electromagnetic entity that is able, like that there's nothing physical going on in these encounters, but that we encounter a phenomenon, a disturbance, or an entity, or whatever that is able to manipulate our brains into thinking that we're seeing things, and that whatever this is constant throughout history. I don't know. Are there aliens? Of course there are. Do they visit us? Of course they don't. I mean, unless, who was it that made the comment? Somebody made a comment about you can refute the vastness of space argument against extraterrestrials visiting with the Einstein-Rosen bridge. I don't know, man. You'd have to be so advanced to use an Einstein-Rosen bridge. Like, we can't even, nothing on our plate even gets us a tenth of the way there. How advanced can a culture really get? I don't know. I mean, if you were to go back into 1850 and say that I'd be able to talk to you via video with a device I carry around in my pocket, who knows? All right. Moving on. Before I become Art Bell, Typing Piper says, did Jesse Ventura visit you after your sighting? No. Typing Piper says, when does Trump take off the lizard suit on TV? Are you implying that he's wearing a lizard suit? Because I think he's a lizard wearing a human suit. Whatever. Typing Piper says, why is Gribley's helicopter not black? It is black as anything in nature ever really is. Gribley's helicopter is a fly that features black yarn, which in this instance is, I mean, the light's shining on it. It has a little bit of a specular highlight. It's black yarn. I don't know if you can, yeah. And it has a black bead. I used to use darker hackle on it, but I found that this stuff attracts the fish more. It's just a cool name, okay? It's a dark nymph, black helicopter. Quit being so persnickety, Typing Piper. Typing Piper, ask Gribbs, is the red Speedo clown mask video coming up soon? I'll make a deal with you guys. I will go fishing and I will video my exploits wearing a red Speedo and a clown mask if we can get this video to 1 million likes. C.S. Sparks B56 asks Gribbs, do you know what a ring dinger is? Yes, I do. The ring dinger is the chiropractic move invented by that weird dude in Houston, who I guess is a chiropractor, and that's where they lay you down on the table and they yank your head in one direction while the rest of you is anchored, and it does crazy stuff to your back. And yes, I do like watching those videos, and I don't think I would ever submit to a ring dinger myself, but I'm glad there are people out there that are willing to go through that for our entertainment. All right, Grant Reynard. Man, what is up with the Grant asks, have you heard of pimple popping toys? And not until now. And I was perfectly happy not hearing of that. And he leaves a link here, which I will not disseminate. Can we stop with the weird body questions? I don't know, man. Timber Drifter, and it's a good thing we're coming to the end of our questions here because my voice is about to lose it. Timber Drifter asked Gribbs. Actually, this was not, and this is me picking out something to ask him about. He left a comment, and he says, thanks for answering my question, which was about marriage. After many years as a bachelor, I'm beginning to change my mind. Really? Do you need a wedding photographer? Seriously, Timber Drifter, I want to hear more about this. I want to hear who the lucky significant other is and how they put up with your lifestyle, because I would have a similar lifestyle if I didn't have a wife and a kid. So is it really the wife and kid that's keeping me from having that lifestyle? Like, if you can get married, how come I can't do all the cool stuff you do when I'm married? You know what? Fireplug says, crap, that baby turtle was cute. Hashtag Ask Gribbs turtle soup. No, I would never eat turtle soup. Number one, I think that would be really disgusting. Number two, they are cute. I really like turtles. I mean, I like cows too, but I still eat steak. And therein lies the whole contradiction of my entire life. Whatever, I'm sick, I can eat whatever I want. And now it's time to bring to an end another Gribbly's Folly Sunday Antisocial. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you don't get sick. I hope you don't get the flu in June. Anyway, yeah, to be honest, I'm barely making it to this point. Thanks for watching. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind. I'm gonna put the links in the description. There's no way I'm gonna forget. But now I don't even know what I was linking to. Whatever. See you next week.